Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Bearbra. Bearbra is from Tennessee in the USA. So let's see what Bearbra has to say. Enjoy the interview.
Hello.
Hello, Bearbra. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. How about yourself?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely.
Just before we start, am I saying your name right? Bearbra?
Yeah.
Amazing. So Bearbra, so tell me, where are you from?
I live in Johnson City, Tennessee, and I do all my nonprofit work in Asheville, North Carolina.
All right. So now you're based in South Carolina now.
North Carolina.
North Carolina, sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
I see. So tell a little bit about your trip to North Carolina.
So we do all kinds of really fun things to raise money for other local nonprofits.
Mm-hmm.
We do drag and burlesque shows. We do going to soup kitchens and feeding the homeless. We just helped with a clothing swap. There's a organization that takes in clothing and just gives it back out to the community.
I see. So tell me a little bit about Bearbra. Tell me how she was born, how everything started, the journey.
Yeah. So about 4 years ago, I actually saw that there was a local chapter of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence in Asheville. And I'd always been very interested in the work that they do. So I sent them a message, went to my first meeting, and I've been a member for the past 4 years.
Okay. And what is the community? What do they do? What's the job that they offer?
So we are a nonprofit. It's mostly LGBT people, but we're open to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And we just try to help people feel comfortable with themselves. If we can go out looking crazy like we do, then everybody can feel comfortable with just being in their own skin. And we do all kinds of good work.
I see. And do you have like meetings sometimes, like weekly or monthly? How does it work?
Yeah, we do monthly meetings, and we're actually just now starting to do quarterly meetings in person. We've been doing them online since the pandemic. And so we're getting ready to start doing them in person again so that we can actually have people that are interested in joining come and meet us and just get to hang out in person instead of only getting to see us at events where we're kind of busy the whole time.
Amazing. Okay, Bearbra, so during the journey, I'm going to explore a little bit more about yourself, about your job, and your point of views.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
That sounds wonderful.
Amazing. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. So this is my best friend. Full of random fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Sounds good.
Let's do it. Bearbra, before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
All right, sounds good.
Amazing. First question for you is, what does love mean to you?
Love is being able to be comfortable with somebody and be yourself and feel accepted, and also accept the other person exactly as they are.
Do you believe that there are different kinds of love?
Yeah, there's definitely like romantic love, but then there's definitely friendship kinds of love. I've actually lost several close friends in the past 3 years, so I've made it very important to me to tell my friends that I love them and express that and just make sure that they know that how much I care for them.
Very nice. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, Bearbra, next question is, usually, what is the first thing that you think about when you wake up?
Usually, if it's during the week, I think about my work day and how I'm going to plan out everything for that. During the day, I am a licensed esthetician and laser technician for a medical office. So usually we have very busy days, and I just try to plan out how I'm going to handle all of that. On the weekends, we do a whole lot more of the nonprofit work, and I get to be my fun self. And so that's usually like, okay, I've got to get all this stuff together so that I can drive an hour to Asheville.
Saying that, do you consider yourself to be more of a day or night person?
Probably more of a night person.
Always been?
Yeah, pretty much. I like getting up and like doing a job during the earlier part of the day and then having that afternoon or evening time to do the things that I want to do.
Okay. Next question. Let's do it. Before the next question, so tell me a little bit about your job, Monday to Friday job.
Yeah, so I do a lot of like laser tattoo removal. I do laser hair removal. We do all kinds of aesthetic services to just help people get their confidence back and feel good about their skin that they're in. That's been a big philosophy with me, is just help people feel good about themselves again. Sometimes you have people that come in and they've got a really ugly tattoo that they just don't feel comfortable wearing certain clothing anymore because it's visible. So it's great to help take those off. We work with a lot of trans women and help do laser hair removal on them, just so that they're not having to struggle with facial hair or body hair that they don't want anymore. And then we help a lot of people that are struggling with just aging and looking a little older, and help them to look younger and feel good and confident about themselves.
Most of their clients, they are male or female?
I would say most of them are female.
Something, Bearbra, as you mentioned about tattoo removals, nowadays people, they can remove like completely the tattoo. Is possible?
Yeah. The old way, you usually ended up with like just a white scar that looked exactly like the tattoo, and I'm like, what's the point in that? It's still there. But now it'll actually give you your skin back and just get rid of all that ink.
And there are some few people that they quite often to have some clients doing some tattoo removal. Wow. Okay. Next question is, what is one thing that you won and how did you win it? Something special.
Let's see. I would say that just having my own living situation and being able to create a home that I feel comfortable in, have art on the walls that I enjoy, and just a safe space to relax and recharge. Cooking is my love language, so I love to have a well-stocked kitchen and be able to cook for the people that I care about and fill them up with good food so that they can go out and have the best day.
Comes something, Bearbra, as you mentioned about being in a, let's say, in a safe place right now, in a place that you can express the way you are. Tell me, how long did it take for you to get to this place right now? And what was the most challenging part for you to, to cross to get to this point right now in your life?
So I was bullied a lot all through my elementary years, and actually dropped out of high school and got my GED, which is basically a diploma equivalency here in America. I cared way too much about what other people thought about me, and that was a real struggle through probably half my 20s. I'm getting ready to turn 35 now, and I've found so much more confidence in my 30s. Don't really care a whole lot about what other people think of me anymore, and that's a really freeing experience. And I try to work with other people to realize that they can be themselves and not have to get bogged down on societal norms and stuff.
Nowadays, do you have the support of your family, or you always had the support of your family regarding you express the way you are and be the person you are today?
Yeah, so whenever I was younger, I definitely was a little bit more scared about being open with them. I live here in Tennessee right now, and we're in the middle of the Bible Belt. There's a lot of people that just want you to look exactly like them, believe things that they believe. And so I was really scared whenever I came out, but I actually got to have this amazing experience a few years ago. I work with a theater troupe here, and we did a play, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, and I played an 80-year-old woman in it. And so actually everybody in my family and a bunch of my friends all came to one of the 3 shows that we did. And I'm like, wow, people are actually seeing me and accepting me and understanding what I'm doing. And then actually a couple, I guess 2 years ago, my grandmother passed away and we were cleaning out her house, and my aunts and cousin were helping me, and apparently me and my grandmother were the same size.
Oh
So
my
they
God.
had me like trying on her clothes and stuff. And I'm like, I would have never imagined that this would be a place that I would be in, and just actually felt the love in that moment that they really understood who I was.
Oh my God, what a beautiful story. I've got goosebumps now. You're saying that. My goodness, Barbara. And tell me something. Who in your family you are more close to?
Definitely my mother. She was an addict whenever I was younger and has struggled with that a lot. So I've always cared a whole lot about addicts and them getting clean. But we were always really close. She always told me I could do anything that I wanted to do if I just set my mind to it, and has always been my biggest supporter and fan. Um, she's had some health issues here lately that have weighed pretty heavy on my mind. So I've definitely taken more time to spend with her and let her know how much I care and how much she's inspired me in my life, because she's worked as a single mom all through my childhood. And now that I'm an adult, I'm like, how did you afford to do all the stuff that you did for us? And just really appreciate everything that she did for me.
I think our mom, they always gonna be our mom. You know what I mean? There are so many, we have so many people around us that love us, that care about us, that we are very connected with. But the connection with our mom is something special. It's something that, you know, it's just a genuine connection, even though sometimes we don't see them very often, or you don't talk to them very often, or you're not around, or maybe not talking about everything with them, but deep inside we know they're there for us.
Absolutely. That's unconditional love.
Yes, and it's interesting you saying that, because my mom is back in Brazil, and that was a few years ago. I've been living away from Brazil for many years, and I remember once I was talking to her about something, and she just said to me, I think about you every day, you know. And for me, I never forget that. I think she just said, like, without even thinking, or if you know, she didn't have an idea how powerful it was that to hear that. And she have not all the time. Sometimes if I feel down for some reason, if I feel, you know, not in a better place, I remember that. I remember that it felt good knowing that there is always someone anywhere in the world that is thinking about me. It's, you know what I mean, every single day. And I felt so special, and I think it's the connection always going to be there.
Absolutely.
Oh. Next question, Bearbra. Let's do it. Next question is, where do you see yourself living when you retire?
Since I do a lot of work in Asheville, I would probably like to move somewhere closer to there, because I drive an hour to go and volunteer now, and it would be great to be a little bit closer. Tennessee's been passing some really oppressive laws here lately, and it's getting kind of scary to even be in this state.
Wow.
I'm thankful that my town is a little bit more open and accepting. There's a lot of people here that support and love me. We've actually just started a local chapter of the same kind of work I do up there. So I'm so glad that there's actually help getting into this area now, but we're having to fight a whole lot of battles in Tennessee. So I would like to live somewhere that just felt a lot safer. And my partner and I, we've actually talked about Sweden, but I don't know. I've never been there. I would definitely want to visit first before I made a giant move like that.
And why Sweden?
We actually love that they support a lot of public transportation and walking and biking. Everything in my area you have to drive to, and that's just so bad for the environment. It's expensive to pay for gas, and it just makes more sense to have a city and a country that's built more around getting to places that you need to go without having to drive.
I had a few guests on the show from Sweden, and they talk a lot about the country, about the whole culture there, and it's just fascinating. I've been there once. I've been to Stockholm once a few years ago, and I felt like in the most romantic place in the world. I don't know if it was because of the time or because it was summertime. I just felt like, okay, I could live here easily.
And it looks like a beautiful country.
It is. I think it's it's not a big country, but it's just I think the way the way they live there. I think, as I said, the touch of nature as well. It's something about the country that you don't find everywhere. Ready for another one?
Sure.
Let's do it. Next question. For the next question, I would like to tell me a little bit about your outfit. Tell me two parts of the question. The first part is, tell me a little bit about your outfit, and the second part is, how long does it take for you to get ready like you are right now?
So we are a modern day queer drag clown nuns. So we all wear the bibs and put our pins on it. We have a little mirror that is convex. And that is so whenever the public is talking to us, they can see the reflection in the mirror and see why we do what we do. Our coronets, those are all different depending on which chapter you're in. Each house has their own coronet. And I've got little bear ears since I'm Bearbra. It used to take me 3 hours to get ready.
Wow.
And I do makeup professionally, but the clown paint was just a whole new learning experience, and I have fallen so in love with it because it just gives you a blank canvas to really do whatever you want to do. Each sister kind of works out their own kind of signature face. There's some that are more masculine, there's some that are more feminine, there's creatures that kind of fall in between. I actually did this in about 45 minutes today, so have definitely gotten better and faster at it.
Amazing. Okay. Next question for you is, if you could be a character in a movie, who that would be and why?
I love everything that Robin Williams did and truly miss him so much. Very tragic way that he passed. And Mrs. Doubtfire was actually one of my favorite movies as a kid because I didn't have the best relationship with my father whenever I was growing up. And just to see a dad that would go through getting in all the drag and everything just to be able to see his kids, I thought that that was just really powerful and showed like just how much a father's love could really be. I think it would be fun to do a character like that. Also a big fan of like The Fifth Element. Love all the sci-fi and all the beautiful costumes. I actually have Diva Plava Laguna tattooed on my leg. And so I just would love to do something sci-fi.
Come something, Bearbra, as I can see how much you enjoy, being the way you are, expressing yourself the way you are through your art, yeah. But is there any challenging moment or time for you when you become Bearbra? There is something that you go like, okay, even though I love being, the person who I am, express myself, but when I turn into Bearbra, there is something that you go like, okay, but I know it's going to be there. There is something?
Usually it's just whenever we do pride events and there's protesters. I absolutely just don't understand the hatred that people have. We're all just humans on this rock and trying to make it through the journey. And I don't understand why people are so filled with hate. So I definitely don't like having to deal with those people. But we will actually go and stand with umbrellas and block them out so that other people don't have to take that hate. We'll have the big fans that you can make a clacking sound with, and we can make a sonic wall to just block out anything that they're shouting. And that can be a really powerful thing for the community, especially if there's children present. They don't need to hear that kind of stuff. So though I do hate having to deal with that kind of people, it's a good thing to be able to just block it out and let us be a wall to protect our community.
Do you think nowadays, do you feel that things are getting better, or do you feel like it's still in the same place, difficult to get to the next level?
It depends on what area you're in. In America right now, there's a lot of laws that are banning drag, banning trans healthcare. There's a lot of backwards movement, and that's really terrifying, especially with like trans children. Tennessee is actually giving kids that have started transitioning about a year to detransition and go back to whatever their assigned gender was. And trans people have a very high suicide rate, especially whenever they don't have that support and whenever the government's telling you, we don't support you. That just makes me terrified that children will feel like they don't have an option, that they can't be themselves anymore. And I hate that.
Yeah, it's really sad to, to hear now, my goodness, we are in 2023 and we still, see those things on TV or, hear that. And it's really sad in a way, you know what I mean? That people that just want to live a life, they're trying to just to pursue who they are, express the way they, they truly self. And why we are not able to do that? Why, there's something written somewhere, there's something that's, that we cannot just, live a life. That's the only thing I think everyone else, any community, anywhere, we just want to live a life the way we want. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, but anyway, I think again, having, powerful people like you right now expressing the way you are, and also just, talking about it, and people watching that, I'm sure they appreciate that, because you never know, they might feel alone, they might feel that there are nobody else, the other side, maybe trying to express the way they are, and hear someone talking so open. And again, it's not easy, I'm sure it's not easy for you to stand up there and, and it just express in the way you are. But, it's having people around doing that is already a big support for sure. Totally believe that. Another question, Bearbra, let's do it. Next question is, what question you'd like to be asked?
I would like to be asked what my favorite thing is about my day job.
And what would be your answer?
I love helping people that come in and may have acne scars, may have dark spots on their face, may have anything that just brings them down. And I like to be able to transform them and help them just be confident again. Confidence can just change your entire life trajectory. I had an 18-year-old patient come in. She had really bad cystic acne, and she had dropped out of high school because children bullied her. So that already touched my heart, because I've been through that too. And we were able to take care of her skin and get it in a whole lot better shape. We worked on her acne scars. We got her acne under control. During that time period, she enrolled in a GED program and got her GED, and then enrolled in college. And it just changed her entire life trajectory, just taking care of a problem that took us 3 months to work on. She was from a very low income household and was working in a little diner, and an older gentleman that frequented the restaurant actually came to her and was like, if money wasn't an option, is there something that we could do to help? And so he actually came with her to her first appointment and paid about $3,000 so that we could do anything that she needed to do. And that just touched me too, that somebody would do that for somebody else that was essentially a stranger. And that kind of inspired me to want to do more with what I do at work too.
Oh my God, amazing. And I'm sure nowadays she must be the most confident person in the world just because of that.
Yeah, it was just great seeing her go from just working in a restaurant where she was never going to really do much to getting in college and being able to have a career that she could enjoy and make a living in.
Bearbra, what the funny thing is, we touched before about people, about hate, about people trying. But the beautiful thing about there's always someone out there that have beautiful heart as well, that sometimes surprises us. Go like, wow, how beautiful is that?
Absolutely.
3 questions left for you. Let's do it. Before the next question, people watching the interview right now, they would like to, to be part of the Beer Seed Sisters, yeah? Or maybe, know more about it or get more familiar with the community. What's the best way?
So we have a website, it's beercitysisters.org, but then there's also sistersofperpetualindulgence.org. There's actually about 70 houses globally. There's some in Canada, some in Paris, some in the UK. We had sisters in the Ukraine, but I believe they had to flee when all the fighting happened over there. But there's houses all over the world, and if there's not a house near you and you feel the calling to want to do something in the community, you can actually create your own house. There's a process. You can actually go on the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence website and get information there about how to start your own house. That's what we've just done in Johnson City, and they have about 24 members interested in doing good works. And that just warms my heart so much, because we've got about 3,000 homeless living here. There's only 157 beds available at the homeless shelter. So there's so many people that are out on the street, and I'm so excited to see what this new house is able to accomplish and what kind of good works that they can do to support the community.
Well, I think that's what for you has been the most joy about being part of the community.
I just love seeing people be lifted up, whether that is kids that may not have the support of their parents and being able to show them that their community supports them, or if it's just us going out and handing plate lunches to people that are living on the street and just making sure they get some good food that day so that they have energy to try to keep on surviving. I love helping people because everybody's going through some kind of struggle, some kind of battle. You might not see that on their face when you walk by them on the street, but kindness goes so far in this world. And if we all were just a little bit kinder, it would be such a much better place to be in.
For sure. Next question is, what is the biggest prize you ever won?
Self-acceptance. Had to work really hard for that. Got tore down a lot by kids in school. I started being bullied in 3rd grade and went to a different high school than any of my peers did. So didn't really know anybody there at all. That was really rough. Whenever I got out and was working, still kind of felt a little bit oppressed and not really comfortable with myself. So just learning how to enjoy myself and be proud of who I am and getting that self-confidence back, that made such a big difference. I've been able to do so much more in my life once I started to learn how to love myself and love supporting other people on their journey of finding that for themselves.
Question for you. If you have the superpower of, let's say, erasing that very tough time in your life as, growing up, would you do it or would you keep it, knowing the person you are today?
I believe that the struggles that I've been through have helped mold me into who I am and drive me to do the things that I do. So though I've been through some trauma, I don't think that I would really want to get rid of it, because that's made me a survivor. That's made me strong. It's made me confident. And I might not be the same person if I didn't go through those experiences. So I love who I am now and have been able to overcome all those obstacles.
Beautiful. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Next question for you is, talking about childhood, if you could sit down with your 13 years old self, what would you say?
Appreciate the people in your life more than what I probably did, because they won't be there forever. I've lost a lot of people and wish that I'd spent more time with them whenever I had the chance. And also just tell myself that it gets better, that all the bullying and the negative stuff I hear out in the community, that's somebody else's views and that should not affect me, and just not deal with all of the drama that bogged me down for so many years.
Do you remember the turn point of your life when you felt so strong that you went like, okay, I can go through that and that's not going to affect me anymore? There was a moment?
That was probably in like my late 20s. I had just became very confident and able to like just accept every part of myself, and knew that I had my family's acceptance then, and that the people that actually mattered, that's the only people that mattered. Like random people that I'll never see again, their words don't have any power. So just learning that I had that support, I would say I was probably about 28, came out at 21, and that was kind of okay. Had a really long conversation with my dad that I never expected to have. I honestly expected to get disowned. And so even having that happen was just crazy. But once I started being more active in my community, that just showed me like how much support's actually out there whenever you just learn to reach for it.
See. Ready for the last question?
Sure.
Let's do it. Last one. But before the last question, what's the name of the person who created Bearbra?
Lucas.
So tell me, what's the biggest similarity between Bearbra and Lucas? And tell me what's the biggest difference?
I'm honestly a lot more confident whenever I have the face on, because it does give you kind of an anonymity. You don't have to worry about if you're working a job that might not accept you, or just different things like that. It's kind of like a mask, but it's also something that can be a beacon of hope in the community. It can let somebody know, hey, this is a safe space. So that's a bigger difference, is that I'm a lot more confident whenever I've got everything on. I'm a little bit more shy and not as willing to just talk to strangers whenever I'm my regular self. But the thing that is the most similar is my love for the community. I still try to be a kind person, no matter what I've got on that day. If somebody needs help and I'm available to give it, I'll be there. Love supporting my friends, and even if it's a Facebook friend that I've not really hung out with a whole lot, if somebody needs help, I'll try to be there for them.
Beautiful, beautiful. Last question for you is, how to describe a perfect friendship?
My best friend in the world was a girl named Nicole, and we started being friends when she was in 4th grade and I was in 5th grade. She was also somebody that was being bullied, and somebody was making fun of her for having like larger eyes than whatever. And I was like, well, I think that's cool. You look like an anime character. And she told me years after that that gave her confidence, because she loved anime and that those words meant so much to her. And I was a 5th grader at the time and had no idea what just a compliment can do for somebody. And so I have worked to try to do that for all of my friends. If somebody is going through something, I try to send them just some kind words. Unfortunately, I lost Nicole about 2 years ago now. She was 32 and never ever expected to not have her as a part of my life. She was my tattoo artist as well, so I've got about 7 tattoos that she did, and I am so happy that I have those little moments like permanently on me. She did a tattoo on my arm of my cat that I had at the time, and he actually passed away last Thanksgiving. So like that is like my favorite thing in the entire world, is just that ties me to people that I loved.
Oh, I'm sure whatever she is right now, she's smiling. Just hear you saying that, for sure.
Thank you.
Bearbra, before it's not the end yet, okay? Let's do now the word association game. I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
All right.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Money.
Work.
Family.
Love.
One word for life.
A journey.
Sex.
Positive.
Love.
My partner's name's Keegan, so I'm going to go with Keegan.
One word for politics.
Nightmare.
Religion.
Hope.
Fear.
Overcoming.
Friendship.
Family.
One word for desire.
Quick thinking is not my forte. Desire, I will go with perseverance.
Regret.
I'll go with death.
Success.
I'll also go with perseverance for that one.
Wish.
Hope.
Happiness.
I'll say work on that one too.
One word for Johnson City.
Breweries.
One word for Tennessee.
Appalachia.
Wow.
Appalachia is the mountain range that runs through the northeastern side of Tennessee. And for the longest time, whenever I was younger, I thought, white people have no culture. We're just a big melting pot of a lot of people from all around the world. And I never really understood whenever I was younger that Appalachian culture is something to be proud of. There's a lot of traditions. It's got its own cooking style. We have our own dialect. We're more of an accent, which I'm sure you can hear. And as I've gotten older and read more and studied about the culture that we did have, I've learned to really love that in Appalachia, we all try to support each other for the most part.
Just made my day now. I learned something new. Wow,
yeah.
Amazing. One word for USA.
Drama.
Oh, I like that, drama. In a way, I like, And the last one now, Beer City. Beer City. No, am I saying right? Beer City Sisters. One word.
Yeah. Community.
Amazing. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your lovely partner for a coffee, and I'm going to ask him, what is the most beautiful thing about Bearbra, and what's something that she still needs to work on to improve on? What he would say?
Oh, he would probably say that I'm a fantastic cook. Cooking is my love language, so I absolutely love making all kinds of different meals and letting us both try new things. Love to explore other cultures through their food and the ingredients that are not from my area. And he'd probably say that I need to work on being a little bit less prickly sometimes. I have an irritable streak sometimes, and I've been working on that, but you're never done working on yourself.
Amazing. As you say about you love cooking, it's your passion, it's your love. Tell me something that if you could eat something for the rest of your life, what that would be?
If it was the same thing, I would go with sushi. Absolutely love sushi or anything from the ocean. I love seafood, but I really like cold food, and so sushi is just a perfect thing.
Is there something that you cannot eat at all? You don't like it?
On my journey to learning how to cook, I read that food critics have to learn how to eat anything. And as I've explored more with cooking, I would say I can eat just about anything, that there's always some way of preparing an ingredient that I'll enjoy it. Still not the biggest fan of beef liver, but I'm sure I could do something with it that would be delicious.
Can't wait to come one day to Tennessee, Johnson City to try that.
Yes.
Let's play now, Bearbra, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before you ask me the question, tell me what's something that you cook that your partner loves the most.
We make really good ramen. I grew up really poor, so we had like the little 25-cent ramen that just had the little packet and honestly isn't that good. And we love like making the soft boiled eggs and the seaweed and green onions and actually making it a big production to make it. And it's so good and so filling.
Amazing. Okay, Bearbra, can you ask me a question now?
In the vein of food, what's your favorite food?
Wow, I'm feeling hungry now. I was talking to you about that. I'm gonna have dinner soon. I feel so hungry now. Okay, I'm a big foodie. You know, you say about you can eat a lot. I like. I mean, you can eat everything. You're very. I'm the same as well. For me, food, as you said, when I see someone cooking, you know, with passion or just cooking for someone, I think it's such a beautiful gesture, like, or you know what I mean, of love in a way, because when they take their time to cook for you, it's just it's their time. They're doing something that they like, and you're gonna appreciate. So I can go on and on with food, but there is something that I like that I've been raised back in Brazil eating rice and like beans every single day. It's something very traditional. But there is a dish, a Spanish dish called paella. I don't know if you heard paella. And I just love it. And there are two ways they can do with seafood. I'm sure you'd love it with seafood and also with meat, yeah? But they do as well in a way that they mix both, and that's my favorite. That's my favorite. I don't know why. You know, the taste of seafood, and you can find some, you know, meat as well on it. It's just delicious. And I'm talking a lot. I'm watering now talking about that.
I'm gonna have to try that. It sounds wonderful.
Yes, yes. I mean, I love both. Yeah, just seafood or eat, but some of people they mix it, and the way they do is just so delicious that you can have both together. So yeah, I'll go for paella today, but I'm sure like another day I could go something else. Paella always being something that I always liked it, and I think there's some rice on it. You know, the taste of yeah, I just like it. Have you ever tried paella?
I have not. I've watched some people cook it on like this big, like outdoor
Yes.
cook fires with the big giant pot and stuff. And it looks intimidating to make, but it does look delicious.
It can be intimidating, but when you try, you go like, wow, that's something unique for sure. Bearbra, did you enjoy the interview?
I loved it.
Thanks so much for taking the time and also for being so open and talking about your community. I think, again, I'm going to repeat, talking about it, spreading around, I think people, they can connect with ourselves and also see that, you know, that we're not alone out there. There's so many people expressing the way we are, you know what I mean? And that's what's the most beautiful thing about express ourselves in living as well alive. Before you go, if you can share a positive message, something that you live by.
So since I'm from Tennessee, I'm going to go with a Dolly Parton quote. It is, find out who you are and do it on purpose. And that is something that I've been doing for several years now. And it all is in that same vein of finding that self-confidence to go out and just enjoy being who you are.
Amazing. Thanks so much and keep in touch. Have a nice weekend. Okay?
Take care. You too. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why do you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.